Last time when we were playing, you guys befriended some uh, new members of the party, or rather, a member of the party. Ven Grizzlymane, who is now accompanying you on an expedition in the wildlands. Do you guys remember what else happened when you were out and about in the barbarian camp?
Yeah, we got some upgrades. Weapons for Claudia, some health product.
Yeah, Claudia got a bow. And you guys got some new healing.
Formed somewhat of a, I don't know. Yeah, somewhat of a. Yeah, so made some possible friends with the. This one.
Yeah, so if you look at your equipment right now, you have greater healing
We're
potions.
doing a little side quest
Oh, sorry.
just to build trust.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you got cut off for a minute there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at your inventory, you've got...
I can hear you, by the way.
Yeah, okay. You've got greater healing potions in your inventory right now. And you've got a herbalism kit that you use to make what I called an armor class +1 potion, a thing that temporarily makes you temporarily raises your armor class, if you remember.
Right.
So in case you want to use that, feel free. And then let me just check Claudia's inventory. Claudia doesn't really... Yeah, Claudia's also got greater healing potions, and she's got arrows for her new bow, her new ranged weapon. Alright, so you guys are on this expedition to gain the trust of the barbarians. You also got horses. I almost forgot that. You got horses.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're traversing across
horses,
the plains, yes. And Ven picked up a giant elk as a steed, and then you guys rode towards the mountains and entered a tunnel in the mountains and emerged out onto this mountain path. The goal of this expedition is to try to find what's causing this this constant fighting between the owlbears and the griffons in the mountains, because the two species have been fighting each other and killing each other off, and it's not good. And so, hearing that you're a detective, the barbarians would like you to possibly detect what's going on. All right. So you are at 29 HP right now, and Claudia is at 22. And you have Ven here, and you guys are staring up at the mountain road ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Let me just zoom out for a second here. Okay. Well, let's head toward the... we have to leave the horse behind, right? We have to proceed on...
Yeah, you gotta proceed on foot. It's too rocky. If the horses try traversing up the mountain, they're liable to get their hooves stuck in holes and then fall, become lame.
Yeah. Okay. Let's let's progress forward.
Okay.
And I just start moving up this area here.
All right. Claudia jogs along behind you. And as you get closer and closer to the top of the mountain, you can hear what appear to be sounds of gnashing, and clawing, and growling coming from, it would be basically this direction over here. You can see it on the map, but I don't think it's not quite within Lester's line of sight at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you climb up the mountain, Ven warns you, we should be careful. The owlbears and the griffons are territorial beasts, and they do not take kindly to people traversing their areas.
Okay. We don't have anything like, but I know the answer. I think I know the answer to this. We don't have anything like binoculars or anything like that, right?
No, you do not. No binoculars, no spy glasses. You probably just have to get closer.
Okay. Who's stealthier? Is it me or Claudia? Or is it
I think you're both pretty stealthy. Let's check your.
both stealthy?
Yeah, let's check your character. I mean, you're both. Claudia is stealthier. Yeah, but you're both.
She is.
You're both pretty stealthy.
Okay. Okay, well, let's just make our way a little bit closer. Let's see. It looks like if we can get a little bit higher and see what's going on. So there's a path back here.
Yeah, so this is a slightly elevated path. They both kind of like there's some steps up above, and so if you get up to maybe around here, you should have a view of what's going on in the other side of the. It's almost like a canyon.
Yeah. So let's make our way up here.
Okay. So you jog up, Claudia huffing and puffing, jogging up to the top. Ven nimbly darts up the rock. And you can see from this vantage point here, you can see large creatures engaged in combat with each other. There is the griffin, the gigantic beast with the head of an eagle and the body of a lion and wings. It's currently facing down against this owlbear. An equally large beast with the face of an owl and the body of a bear, and it's kind of like a Mexican standoff. They're growling and clawing at the earth in front of them. Behind the owlbear, you can actually see the carcass of another owlbear, and it appears that this other owlbear was killed. There are large gnashes along its body, and possibly by the griffin, possibly by something else. So that's all you can make out at the moment. There's rubble strewn about the ground around these two beasts. Almost looks as if the ground has undergone an earthquake recently.
And is that a baby, like a chick or something in the nest?
Yeah. So this is hard to make out entirely from your vantage point. You can't. It's not exactly in your line of sight,
Okay.
but you can see bits and pieces of a nest over here, and then what looks like another nest down here. You get the feeling that they're nests belonging to the respective animals, but you technically can't see the babies right now. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
And these are baby. Wait. Oh, we don't know what nest is, right? It looks from the pictures that they're different, but we
you
don't
don't know for sure. I mean, you technically can't see them at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just have a look and see what we can see.
Right. So
So we can get.
yeah. So you can sneak up a little bit closer, and you see the beasts. They're staring each other down, and then the two beasts start lashing at each other, back and forth, engaging in combat. The griffin flapping its wings at the owlbear, trying to push it backwards, trying to create wind to push it backwards, and the owlbear lunging forth with its claws, making growling sounds. And the monsters are fighting. And Ven looks at you and says, "It appears that they are clashing over territory. One of them might have trespassed into the other's territory, or perhaps the griffin killed that other owlbear lying on the ground there. Not sure, but it's strange because I know that these creatures are territorial, but they usually do not butt heads against each other. They usually stay out of each other's way, unless for some reason the owlbear believes that the griffin has killed its mate."
Okay.
"Lester," says Claudia, "before we go traipsing about and potentially get ourselves involved in a wildlife dispute, maybe we should, I don't know, fill up our health and make sure we're all spick and span."
It's a good idea, I guess. Good idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are we at? Let's see. Lester is 29 out of 39.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have healing potion.
Mm-hmm. Greater healing potions.
We have food, right? Or no?
Insubstantial food.
Not with.
Just not food that's going to recover HP.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, we could use a healing potion probably.
Okay. Would you like to use one? Or would Claudia?
Yeah.
Would you like to have Claudia use one?
How many? What is Claudia at?
Claudia's at 22 hit points out of 30.
Well, I can't see her things.
She's at 22 hit points out of 31.
30, 22. Well, she should definitely use one.
Okay. So Claudia will...
I'll probably use one too.
Okay, so roll 4d4 plus 4. Now roll for Claudia too. Okay, Claudia recovers 14 hit points.
Okay, got 12.
So Claudia's at max. And you got 12?
Okay. Yeah. So...
I think
I'm max too.
You're at max also, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're both maxed out. 39 and she is 31. All right.
Just take out her bow or something like that, you know.
Okay.
Get that ready in case.
Claudia readies her bow, and I'm assuming you have your crossbow at the ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So the animals continue their combat back and forth, and then they start circling the clearing against each other, the griffin hovering off the ground, and the owlbear making an aggressive stance. You're not really sure who the victor of this combat is going to be. As you watch the beasts, you hear a low rumbling sound, and I would like you to make an insight check.
Okay.
All right, 13. Okay, so you hear a low rumbling sound, and it almost appears as if the rumbling is coming from beneath you, from underground. Similar to how an earthquake would send out vibrations, you can feel strange vibrations and rumbling coming from beneath you.
Okay.
Yeah. And the rumbling is it's getting louder, and it's getting closer, and it appears to be around this area here. But you're not exactly sure what's going to happen, or what exactly is causing it. What would you like to do?
Claudia?
Sorry, what was that? Repeat that.
I was going to ask about that.
Oh, so Claudia listens and says, "I don't know, but it feels almost as if like something is underneath us, Lester." Like she puts her ear down to the ground. She says, "It almost feels like something's moving underneath the earth." And then you can hear Ven say, "We should be very careful." All right.
What?
So do you want to proceed and get closer, or do you want to stay where you are?
Well, let's get a little bit closer and see if we can... maybe have Claudia do it. At least she's a little stealthier.
Okay. Claudia can sneak up as well. Let's see. Claudia's about willing to go maybe as far as here. Okay. Let me just see what she. Let me just see if the monsters notice her. Roll for stealth for Claudia. I think she should be fine. Yeah, so Claudia sneaks up and then peers around the edge of the rock and sees the monsters clasped up against each other, and the griffin is actually trying to grapple the owlbear is actually trying to grapple the griffin, and the griffin's biting down on the owlbear, but neither animal appears to be backing down from this conflict. And then she says, "Well, you know, they almost look like two spouses having a domestic fight. I can't really see much else. If I were a betting woman, I guess I would put money on the owlbear. It looks a little bit stronger, but the griffin can fly, so I don't really know what's going on or why they're fighting with each other." Okay.
Okay.
So as Claudia observes, suddenly that rumbling becomes louder, and you feel vibrations coming from all around you. Once again, moving through the rock beneath your feet. Okay. And then suddenly there is a gigantic spray of rock exploding out from right here where this rubble is. All right, a gigantic spray of rock just sends rubble flying in all directions. Okay, and then you guys see it from your vantage point. You see what appears to be a grayish monster actually explode out from underneath the dirt. Okay? And it looks like this. It looks like this. It's a gigantic shark-like monster. With a huge head and large jaws, and just burrows out of the earth and sprays rocks and boulders everywhere. Yeah, it appears to be some kind of rock monster. It definitely came from underground. Okay? And what happens is, as it bursts out of the earth, it pushes the rubble that explodes out. It pushes these creatures backwards and knocks the griffin against the rock here, and then also knocks the owlbear against the rock here as well. They each take small bits of damage. Let me just roll to see how much damage they take. Okay, both monsters actually take 15 points of damage as this strange creature explodes out and surprises both of them. You hear Ven behind you curse and say something in the barbarian language, and then she runs up in front of Claudia and then pulls her back to relative safety, and then she whispers to both of you, "That is what we call the boulette. It is like another name for it is the landshark. It is a creature that burrows underground and then can explode up and grab its prey in its jaws and then suck them down into the earth. It is extremely fierce, and it has no mercy for whatever it catches in its mouth." Now, if you remember, a while back when you first ventured into the wildlands and stumbled upon a camp, you saw the carcass of Albertus Allwright, remember? Josh, you there? Hello? Yes? No? Have I lost you? You there, Josh? Let me just try calling you on Messenger. Technical difficulties, unfortunately. Hello? You there?
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey. Are you still on Roll20? Did your internet get screwed up?
No, didn't, I don't know. It didn't get screwed up as far as I can tell, but we lost our connection here.
Oh,
So,
okay. But you're still in the game, yeah?
Still in the game, yeah.
Okay.
I can't see.
You can't see anything?
I can't see your picture, like, but I can still see the map and everything like that.
Oh, try moving yourself. Okay, it still works. Okay, we'll just talk via Messenger.
Okay.
Okay. Were you able to hear me before when I was talking?
Yeah. That was fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this gigantic monster just exploded out from the earth. Okay. And then you can remember. I'll just move you back. So that, I don't know if you want to be that close to the creatures. This monster exploded from the earth, and you remember that when you first ventured into the wildlands, you saw the corpse of Albertus Allwright, yeah?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was found dead at the campsite, and strewn about his body were large piles of rock and rubble, and they're similar to the piles of rock and rubble that you can see here. You get the feeling that this is the creature that killed him, that did him in.
Oh.
Yeah, he just might have been walking along, minding his own business, and then this thing spun out from the earth and then grabbed hold of him and bit down into him real hard. Based on the evidence of the battle scene, it seems like something like that happened. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we gotta be careful.
Yes.
Is it seen us or this thing, whatever this thing is?
It hasn't seen you guys yet. It's currently focused on the owlbear and the griffin. All right.
Oh.
And it appears to be trying to attack. Well, it looks like it'll probably be attacking all of them. You're going to have a monster rumble. It's going to be three creatures fighting against each other. What would you like to do?
Let's do nothing. Let's see who comes out on top.
All right, you're just going to let them duke it out?
Yeah, I just let them do it up. Yeah.
All right. So okay, so you let them duke it out, and then what happens next is that this creature, the boulette, the one in the middle, it lunges for the owlbear. And then it goes to chomp down on the owlbear's neck, and then the owlbear is grappling it and trying to push it away, back and forth. And the owlbear spins out with one of its fluffy fists and smacks the creature right in the face. And then as it does that, the creature, once again, it ducks down into the ground. It burrows beneath the earth, all right? And then the owlbear is looking about frantically, trying to find where it is. And so is the griffin, all right? The two monsters have stopped fighting each other, and they've turned their attention to try to find where this third predator is. Now, one thing you might want to do, Josh, is you currently cannot see the where the boulette is. You have one ability that you don't really use that much because you don't have much reason to, but you have an ability called Eye for Detail, which lets you, if you pull up your character sheet, Lester can use a bonus action to make a wisdom perception check to spot a hidden creature or object. So you use this in the fight against Etor, if you remember, to try to find out where he was when he was invisible.
Right.
So you can try it now. If you click on it now, you'll make a check, and we'll see if it's high enough to detect where the creature is, where it is under the earth.
Wait, how do I do this?
Just click on Eye for Detail in your character sheet. Oh, oh, okay. So yeah, I guess it doesn't do it automatically. Just roll a d20. This is going to be a wisdom check. Or perception, rather. Wisdom perception check. Okay, so 1d20, 12, and then because it's using your perception, you get a plus 7 to that, so that's a 19 total. Okay, So you can tell that the creature is most likely going to. You can feel the vibrations in the earth, and it's probably going to pop up right here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, as you are determining its approximate location, the creature explodes out from the ground, again sending rubble flying everywhere. And now, because it is within this pathway, it can see you guys. You are within its line of sight. So now I would like you to roll initiative, because now technically you are a part of this combat situation, along with the owlbear and the griffin.
Okay. Well. 13.
Alright, 13. You get a +2 to initiative. And so that is a 15. Alright, now Claudia rolled a 15. And Claudia, for her initiative, she gets a plus... she gets +4. So Claudia is 19. Alright. Just see what Ven is. Okay, Ven rolled a 10. And then her initiative is... Okay, so Ven will be 11 total. Alright, now let's see what the monster rolled. Check for all these monsters. First up, the boulette is... Let's see. It is... Alright, the boulette is... Oh, the boulette also rolls a 19. Alright, so it's going to go right after Claudia. And then the owlbear rolls a... Owlbear rolls a 17, so it has a +1 to initiative, so that's an 18. And then finally the griffin. Well, when will the griffin go? Okay. The griffin goes... it rolls a 7. The griffin's going to probably end up going last. So the griffin has a 9 total in the initiative queue. Alright. So if we look at the queue, I believe it's Claudia is going to be up first, and then the creature, because usually I let the player characters go first. Alright. So what would you like Claudia to do? Right now you're in the midst of this thing, and the creature has spotted you. At least this boulette, this landshark, has spotted you. The owlbear and the griffin probably aren't paying too much attention to you at the moment.
Okay. Let's see. Does she have any insightful things like Lester does?
She doesn't. No, she doesn't have. She doesn't have insightful fighting like you do. She has. She has. So she can. She has cunning action, which you do as well. So she's currently right in front of the creature. Normally, if she moved, the creature would get an attack of opportunity on her, but she can use a bonus action to disengage away. So she can use the disengage action away, and she can jump backwards, and the creature will not get an attack of opportunity on her. She has a sneak attack, like you. And then she has stuff like, she has an ability called Master of Tactics, where she can help you in your attacks, basically.
Okay. Well, how about and this creature looks like has hostile intent.
Yeah, it looks hungry. I mean, it's kind of turned around and it saw you, and it's like additional prey. You know, it was focused on 2 main courses, but now it's got like dessert just added to the mix.
Okay. Well, let's maybe why don't we have Claudia try out her new bow?
Alright, so Claudia can try out her new bow. So first what she's going to do is, I think it's probably best for her to, she's going to use her bonus action to disengage. So she's going to jump backwards away from the thing, so the thing can't get an attack of opportunity on her. So she jumps 1 space back. Okay, and then she pulls out her bow and fiddles with her bow, and she's like, "All right, Lester, I'll shoot it." And she'll shoot it with her short bow, and all right, she'll shoot it with her short bow. Let's see if it hits the thing. Okay, so she rolled a 21 to hit, and that does pierce through the thing's armor class. And so now let's see what damage Claudia does. All right, Claudia fits an arrow into her bow and lets loose, and the arrow shoots into the creature and manages to pierce through the creature's pretty thick-looking hide, and then the arrow's just sticking out of there right now. The beast takes 7 points of damage. Okay. Now it is the boulette's turn to attack, and the boulette does not look happy that it just got hit with an arrow. Alright. So what the boulette's going to do now is it is going to come up closer, and it's going to try to make a bite attack against Claudia, who just shot it. Alright, so let's see if it manages to make it. Oh, unfortunately, it rolled a natural 20. It's definitely going to hit poor Claudia. All right. All right, it chomps down on poor Claudia, and it does 29 points of damage.
Dang. Oh, wait, was she?
Claudia is down to 2 HP. Just, the thing's jaws are immense and huge, and it just chomps down on Claudia and swings her about like a rag doll. Luckily for you, she's wearing studded leather armor, so it doesn't outright kill her, but it's awfully close, and then just spits her out like patooey. And you can hear her screaming and being like, "Lester, why do I always get shafted?"
Oh man, she we need to give her like another. I need to give her another healing potion, as well as that armor skin stuff.
Yeah.
Is.
So Ven is screaming. She's like, "Do not let the thing get close enough to bite you. See if you can distract it or draw it back towards the other creatures. We cannot take a bullet on our own terms like this. It will kill us."
Thank you. Thank you for that insightful piece of information.
Well, all this is happening in very fast, like 6-second intervals. So now it's the owlbear's turn. Okay, and the owlbear is actually going to come over, and it is going to swipe again at the boulette. It's ignoring you guys. It probably doesn't know what to think of these other strange humans that have wandered into its hunting grounds and are now involved with this altercation. But it's going to try attacking the boulette.
Yeah.
Let's see if it'll hit. All right. Unfortunately, it misses. It gets to make 2 attacks. It misses its first attack. And the second attack will hit the boulette. All right. And so the owlbear leans backward and then just jabs its beak into aiming for the boulette's eye. Let's see how much damage it does. All right, it does a whopping 13 points of damage. Just beaks down on the boulette's eye, and there's blood streaming out from the boulette. All right, now it's your turn, Lester LeFoe.
Okay. Let me see.
So.
Tempted to use the flaming arrow.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things, and I was going to remind you this, but I just forgot. You and Claudia, if you look at your character sheet, you both have this damn uncanny dodge ability, which I forgot to use for Claudia right now. I should have used it. It would have. Yeah, you can use your reaction to halve an attack's damage. I always forget, always, but just remember that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If we get chomped down on.
Yeah, if we get chomped down on. And if Claudia gets chomped down on again, she'll remember it this time.
Did I use the insightful fighting?
Yes, you can use the insightful fighting on the boulette. So make an insight check against this creature to see if you can determine its battle tactics. So just click on insight. 22, excellent. So it's contested against the creature's charisma. The creature has to make a charisma check. Luckily for you, the boulette has absolutely ass charisma, and so I think you're going to win. Oh, absolutely, yes. The boulette rolls a 5, and it gets a -3 to charisma rolls. So you are obviously you can determine that this creature is extremely dangerous. It can burrow underground, and it's likely to explode out from the ground. And if it catches you, if you're standing above the ground that it explodes under, that's probably bad news. And once again, keep your distance because it can do such heavy damage with its jaws. You don't want to be within biting distance of it. So as of now, so you've got sneak attack on this thing for the remainder of for 1 minute, which is basically 10 rounds.
Okay. The other thing is, like, looking at the map, it looks like there's like a path part and there's like a rocky part. If we go up above onto the what looks like the raised part, can it get to us?
Which part? Click on yeah. Well, so what can happen is you don't really know the capabilities of this creature. It can burrow through rock, and you don't know if that includes like through the mountain itself. But it seems like it probably would be able to actually burrow through the mountain and pop up underneath you.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't necessarily matter in this particular case because it is a rock chomping, rock traveling beast.
Okay. All right. So it's still my turn, right? So
it's still your turn.
I can use one action to give something to Claudia, or like I can throw her a potion.
You can throw her a potion if you want. She has potions, I believe. Yeah. So if you want to, you can focus on attacking, and then on her turn, she can take a potion and retreat, because she's not dead yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and because she gets to go first before the monster. If you look at the queue, and Ven even gets a turn. So.
Oh, sure. But can I take the armor healing thing, or what is it? The skin armor thing.
Okay.
Now?
Yeah, you can. That will be your full action.
That would be the full action.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to, you can do that, or you can just try. You can try shooting something, or actually no. I'm going to say that. No, I think. I think that would be a bonus action to take that. Pretty sure it might be a bonus action actually. Let me just double check.
Okay.
Let me just double check to see if that's a bonus action or a full action. Drinking a potion. Give me 1 second. Just doing a quick Google. Yeah, it takes a full action. Okay.
Okay.
Takes a full action.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe Claudia should be doing that next. She gets this. I'm gonna just try shooting it. So.
Okay. So you will shoot the boulette, and what type of bolt will you use?
We're too close to, I think, to use the fire.
Yeah, unless you shoot the fire into another point and allow the trajectory of the flames to also hit the creature.
Yeah. Problem is it can move. Though,
it can move. Yeah.
So that might be just waste one of those. So I'll just shoot it.
All right, shoot it with a regular bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Click on Dragon Spade Crossbow in your thing. See how much damage it does. All right, 19. 19 to hit. That will pierce the creature's armor class rating. Click on Dragon Spade Crossbow, the text, to see how much damage it does. 12 damage. Now you also get your extra sneak attack damage to the thing because you got sneak attack off on it. So roll 3d6. Seven. All right, in total, you do 19 points of damage. You do 19 points of damage, and so you're kind of I guess you're kind of standing against this rock here. So Lester, 1 foot raised and elevated on the rock, and with his bow just pointing down at this thing, and lets off a bolt, and it pierces the creature's rough hide, and you hear a loud roar as the boulette makes a sound that you've never heard before in the city. It's the terrible sound of the wilderness, the vicious wilderness incarnate. Would you like to do anything else? You still have some movement left, if you want to, or you can stay where you are.
I think we should retreat a little bit. Let's move back a little bit.
You can definitely do that.
Yeah, let's move back. We don't have to be so close.
Okay, so you retreat back a little bit, and now it is Ven's turn. Would you like Ven to attack the creature, or would you like her to retreat backwards? She's more inclined to attack the creature because barbarians do not back down.
That's good. Yeah, do what she does.
Do what she does. All right. So let's see what Ven the barbarian will do. All right. Alright, Ven is going to use an ability of hers called Reckless, where she just goes into a berserker frenzy, and it means that she gains advantage on all melee attacks during this turn, but attacks against her will have advantage as well, so hopefully we'll see what happens. So she's going to rear back and use that axe of hers. And so 9. Alright, she's got a great axe, and she plunges it down against the boulette, screaming out a barbarian war cry. The barbarian cry that she screams out it sounds like Garin LaFell Grash, and then she just smacks her axe against the creature. Unfortunately, it does not appear to be super effective. It doesn't appear to be doing anything. And she's just frustratingly whacking it back and forth. But nothing happens. No good. And so you hear her cursing, and she can't really do much else. She's just stuck up against this thing. Alright, then finally we have the griffin. Alright. So the griffin is hovering in the air right now, just it's hovering in the air, and it hovers up to where the boulette is and tries to make 2 attacks against the landshark. The first one hits. The first one's a beak attack, and then the second one will be an attack with its claws, and the second one will unfortunately miss terribly, but the beak attack will do 1d8 plus 4 damage. Which is 5. It does 5 points of damage. Alright. So now we're back at the top with Claudia. And now you think Claudia should definitely retreat, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Claudia is once again going to use the disengage action. She's going to move away, and the creature doesn't get an attack of opportunity from her on her, and then she jumps back as far as she can. I believe she can move 30 feet, or she can move, yeah. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. She's like, I'm going to skedaddle, Lester, before I bleed into a pile of bits on the road. And she is going to gulp down a healing potion. Okay? Another one of those greater healing potions.
Yeah.
4d4 plus 4. She gulps down another healing potion and recovers 13 hit points.
Okay. Yeah, she should definitely stay back and just like.
Yeah, especially because she's got a bow now.
Yeah.
All right, so she is down 1 heal. She's got 1 healing potion remaining. She says, "I'm not used to fighting from so far away, Lester. It's a new concept for me, just to like actually be alive and not on the verge of instant decapitation and death."
Yeah, it's a nice concept. It's a nice idea.
I know. I'm finally seeing things from your point of view. You know, just standing around with a weapon, a ranged weapon, and just being a cocky bastard and shooting it, never having to like worry about getting your ribs done in. Very good, Les. I'm gonna emulate you from now on.
Yeah.
Now it's time for now we're going back to the boulette. All right. This angry creature. All right. So this thing is going to. What will it do? This thing burrows down into the ground. Alright. Just burrows down to the earth, and you can't actually see where it is at the moment. Okay? Yeah. As it burrows, though, because it's technically disappearing, let's say that... Well, no, they don't get an attack of opportunity on it because it just jumps down to the earth. Yeah, they can't really do anything. So now the confused owlbear. Okay, the confused owlbear is just like, it was about to attack this landshark, but the landshark is now gone. So in lieu of an opponent, the owlbear would just decide to attack the griffin. Just going back to the original, the original combat. It's like, oh well, that guy's gone. Okay, so the owlbear tries to attack the griffin. And lunges out with its claws, and it manages to get one hit on the griffin with one of its claws. The griffin's hovering slightly above it, so it can't really... The other attack misses, okay? But it does get a little bit of damage on the griffin with its second attack. Right, the griffin takes 9 points of damage. And you hear Claudia say, These beasts, they're dumb. Why are they fighting amongst themselves when they should be fighting the big baddie that's jumping from the ground with the intent to kill all of us? Lester, it's your turn.
Okay.
You can use your eye for detail again to try to determine where the boulette is.
Yeah. Let's do that. I'm not really interested in the other two.
Okay, so that will be just that's a perception check. You can just click on your perception. This is a bonus action. Yeah. 13. Okay, let me just see. Yeah, okay, 13. Alright, so you can tell that the thing is going to emerge back here. It actually burrowed behind both the owlbear and the griffin. You get the feeling from the vibrations that it's behind them. It's just traveling through the ground.
Like close to those nests?
Somewhat closer to the nests, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Instead of shooting, I'd like to do some moving. You know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a flanking maneuver.
Oh, very nice. You're going to do some... How are you going to do it?
I'd like to... I'd like to either go up this way or the other way, whichever way he can move.
Okay, so would you like to get... So hold down on the map. Show me where you want to go. So you want to go there?
Here?
Yeah.
Or here on this ledge here, whichever is more feasible.
Okay, so go back to where you originally were for a second.
Yeah, I was over here.
I think you were actually like, you think you were like here? Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so you can move 30 feet.
Which is what, 6 squares?
Which is, so every square is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now the thing is, so if you're going to try climbing up these rock walls here, that counts as difficult terrain. So that takes twice your movement to get up them. So you can choose either space you want to flank it to. Either here or here, but I don't think you're going to be able to get quite all the way because you're jumping across rocks right now.
All right. Well, let's see. I can go diagonally, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
1, 2, 3.
You can probably get 3. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So this yeah, the space you're standing on now is difficult terrain. The road is normal terrain.
3. All right. Well, let's do 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Let's do right here.
Okay. All right. So you're a little bit closer. Okay. And you gonna attack?
No. Oh, yeah,
No.
okay.
Okay. Just gonna hang tight.
Yeah.
All right. Ven follows your flanking maneuver, not attacking the beasts as well, but just laying in wait. In fact, I'm going to have her. she's going to come up. That thing, 1, 2. Yeah, she's going to come up one in front of you. Okay.
Yep.
The griffin. The griffin now goes back to smashing its wings against the owlbear. Just two Godzilla-style monsters having a Godzilla-style fight. The griffin does not manage to pierce the owlbear's armor class rating with its first attack, and then with its second attack, it also misses. The griffin is disoriented and out of place, and then we're back to Claudia. So Claudia is behind you guys. She's like, everybody jumping up on the rocks without me. And she's like, all right, wait for me. 5, 10, 15, 20, yeah, 25, 30. She just pulls herself onto this rock right here behind you, just huffing and puffing, with her bow at the ready. She's like, all right, Lester, as soon as something pops out of the ground, I'm going to shoot it. And if I shoot you, I'm sorry. It's an accident. Not used to ranged weapons. All right. So now, finally, we get back to the boulette. All right. Okay. So the boulette, who's been moving underground, what's going to happen is it burrows up behind under these creatures, and so this is what happens. The boulette bursts from the earth, okay, on top of both creatures, and so what it looks like is basically let's see. I'm trying to find a thing. Yeah, it just boom! It just like bursts up from the earth on top of the two creatures, and rocks go flying everywhere as the owlbear and the griffin just get hit with a barrage of stuff. The owlbear and the griffin, they both need to. Let me just see if they take damage. Yeah, the owlbear takes damage, and then the griffin, I believe, is also going to take damage as well. Yeah, they both take damage, unfortunately. Alright. They both get knocked backwards. The griffin falls backwards onto the rocks here. The owlbear falls backwards onto the rocks here as well. And let's see how much damage they take. So both the owlbear and the griffin have been knocked prone. They're on their backs right now. Oh, God. So they are going to take... Alright, they both take 31 points of damage from the impact.
Oh.
Yeah. So the boulette is just viciously poking its head up above the ground now, and it burrowed out, and it's once again visible. It can't do anything else on this particular turn. Alright. Is the owlbear's turn. The owlbear was knocked prone. When you're knocked prone, you have to take your full movement to stand upright again. So it manages to get back upright, and but it's a little bit too far away from the creature. It can't really do anything. There's about a 5 foot distance, or a 10 foot distance from the creature, and it can't reach out with its claws. But it disorients itself. It reorients itself, and it shakes off its head. And finally, we're back to you, Lester.
Okay. Well, let's try the attack again. I will aim for the bullet.
Normal attack with a whatchamacallit, with the regular bolt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, normal attack. Yeah. And...
Alright.
11?
Yeah, 11. Unfortunately, 11 will not pierce its armor class rating, so you fire off a bolt, but the bolt just bounces off of the thing's thick hide. No damage. Yep. No damage, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You just gonna hang tight?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
yeah, right.
All right. So now Ven's turn. What would you like Ven to do?
Oh, she can. She doesn't have any range attacks, right?
No, she's gonna have to get close.
Okay.
She's just got an axe.
Yeah.
Do you encourage violence?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So with a barbarian yell, LeFoe, she jumps down from the ridge here and is gonna swipe at this thing with her axe. Yes, and she rolls. She uses her reckless fighting style, which means she gets advantage. And unfortunately, she misses terribly with both. Just low rolls. The thing's armor class is too high, and now she's just standing cursing, just not rolling very well at the moment. Finally, we have the griffin. The griffin who had fallen prone. It uses its full movement to get back up, and then seeing the cause of its dismay right in front of it, the griffin will try to attack the boulette.
Okay.
Yeah. The griffin rolls a natural 20 for its first attack. It always gets multi-attacks, so excellent. So so the second one will miss, but the first one, it will do an attack with its beak, and it will definitely hit. Okay, that rolls. It gets to do a 1d8 plus 4 damage. It does 6 damage to the boulette. All right. Boulette lets out a shriek as the griffin pierces it with its beak. We're back to Claudia. What would you like Claudia to do?
Okay. Well, actually, before we do that,
Yeah.
this is sort of annoying. My computer's telling me it's restarting itself in 3 minutes.
Oh.
But
Can you disable it?
no, I can't.
No.
I've already did it a couple times, so.
No. Okay. That's really annoying.
Yeah, it's really. So, let me restart it, and we just rejoin back.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just do that.
Let me know when you're ready. Or I'll see you pop back in.
Yeah, I'll just restart it. Just take a second. I don't think we'll. But I think I would like Claudia to. Well, actually, no, actually you can't do it. Well, actually you can, right? You can actually continue still playing.
Yeah, we could still. I mean, yeah, I can still hear you on Messenger. So, I mean, Claudia can probably keep on. You can. Would you like Claudia to try shooting it, or would you like her to maybe, I don't know, gulp down? Well, she doesn't really. She just has one healing potion. Claudia can try shooting it again.
Well, what about the armor? What about, did she do the skin part?
No, neither one of you guys have done that. You have him. You have him.
Oh, I have them.
Yeah, you have him.
Oh, so I would have to give them to her during a turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we just have her do the shooting first?
Okay, she can do the shooting. Her other option is she can use the help action as a bonus action, which is basically like she can help you ready your next attack. So that means you get advantage on your next attack. You get to roll two d20s to see if you hit, and then take the higher one.
Oh, but then she doesn't get an attack?
No, she still does. That's a bonus action, so she can do both.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's have her do both. Have her do both. So Claudia will get up right next to you, and then side by side, ace detectives. She will shoot with her bow, mimicking your style, essentially. Mimicking your style of combat. She will shoot with her bow. Let's see if she does damage. Short bow, short bow, short bow. Okay, yeah, she rolled a 19 to attack, and that will definitely hit the creature. Okay, let's see what damage that little Claudia does with her weapon. She does 7 points of damage. Okay, does 7 points of damage with her weapon, and then Claudia is going to use the help action as her bonus action in order to give you advantage on your next attack. Okay. And so she's kind of like pointing out directions. She's like, "Oh, that's pretty good, Lester. You just follow me. You shoot like me. We can both fire hell down upon this thing." So now it's the Boulette's turn. It is the Boulette's turn, and then you're back. You're back on roll 20 also.
Yeah.
All right. I'll turn off messenger then. Or actually, I'm just going to.
Let's just keep it on.
Yeah, I'll mute. Can you hear me right now?
You're gonna mute the. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, mute messenger. We'll use it as a backup in case.
Do it this way.
Yeah, in
I
case.
can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So now it's the Boulette's turn. All right. So the Boulette is going to. All right. The Boulette is going to bite the shit out of the griffin with its fierce jaws. Okay. The Boulette bites the griffin, and it does hit. And, let's see what the damage is going to be. This might not be pretty. The 27 points of damage. So the Boulette just lunges out with its jaws, clamps down on the poor griffin, and you can hear bones crack and the wings get twisted as the Boulette just breaks the griffin in two. The griffin is dead.
Uh-oh.
The griffin is dead. And it spits out the carcass of this creature, probably intending to make a meal of it after it deals with the rest of you guys. The owlbear. All right. The owlbear, after seeing what just happened to the griffin, lets out a howl, and you don't know if it's a mournful howl or a howl of triumph because it previously was fighting the griffin just now. But you get the feeling it's probably a combination of both of them. And so the owlbear tries to retreat. All right, the owlbear is going to try to get out of here as far as it can go, and it can move. It can move about 40 feet. It's a large creature, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 40. It moves down here, all right? It appears to be moving down towards the dead carcass of its mate, which looks like it was also chomped to death by the Boulette. You can tell that the way the creatures have died is similar. The way the griffin died is similar to the way this owlbear here has died as well, all right? And now the surviving owlbear is running back to what appears to be its dead mate and what might be its nest, okay? All right, Lester, it's you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do the shooting again.
All right. You have advantage. Claudia is guiding your attack, so so you'll be able to roll twice to hit and take the higher one, just in case it doesn't hit the armor class. 14. All right, 14. Unfortunately, that will not pierce the armor class rating, but you get to roll again because of Claudia. 8.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, son of a batch. So just Claudia accidentally points you left when you should have shot right, and your bolts go bouncing off of the rocks. And Ven is like, "What good is a weapon such as that when it cannot even hit a target as big as this?" And Claudia yells back, "Barbarian lady, you're not doing much damage yourself with that massive, oversized weapon of yours. So shut up." Lester, do you want to stay here, or do you want to move with your... Do you want to continue your flanking maneuver, as it's called?
Yes, I think we should.
All right. So once again, difficult terrain. Every square is 10 movement instead of 5. Since you're standing on these rocks.
Yeah. So. 2. There.
Yeah. Okay. Ven, who has not been very successful in any of her attacks, is going to try again. Ah, yes, 17. So 17 just barely connects with the creature. The creature has an armor class rating of 17, which is pretty damn high. Since both you and Claudia, you're 14, Claudia's 15. All right, so Ven is going to use her great axe to attack. It does 1d12 plus 3. It does 15 damage on the beast.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yelling out a barbarian war cry, you see this powerful woman just spin around and cleave into the boulette with the full force of her axe. Like the energy that she's stored up from having missed her previous attacks is just now unleashed. And finally she gets a hit in, and she screams out a barbarian victory cry, Kevalashin! And it feels cool to see a barbarian woman in action. And it feels cool to see barbarians fighting things that aren't you. Memories of Tehran's cart running through barbarians, just like a bad dream, flashes in front of your vision. All right, and unfortunately the griffin cannot go because the griffin is dead. We're back to Claudia. What would you like dear Claudia to do? Lester, should I shoot it? Or should I?
Yeah, shoot it.
Shall we just pummel it with violence?
No, let's shoot it.
All right. I, Claudia Copperhoof, solemnly swear to hit this thing with my bow. If I miss, it's not my fault. It was the bow's fault. Oh, that's a fucking 27, Lester. I don't know what this number means. I'm just saying it, but that's gonna hit. All right. So yeah, she rolled a 20, and that's plus 7. That's excellent. So she'll hit it. She'll hit it with her short bow. All right. She hits it with her short bow, and she does, wait, what was this? Short bow is 1d6 plus 4. So, 1d6. Short bow damage. Why is it not wrong? The damage is screwed up here. It does a 6 plus... Damage is fucking up here. Let me just roll manually. It does 1d6. Damage is 4. So it does a 6 plus 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It does 10 points of damage. I don't know. The math was getting messed up in the chat there. I couldn't understand it. Just couldn't understand it. She does.
Maybe
Okay.
you need to savor the situation.
I'm sabering it, Lester. I'm sabering it with an arrow. It's different from a sword, but it's almost the same. And so she shot it, and the boulette rears backward and roars once again. Now it's the boulette's turn. The boulette is looking. It's in bad shape. It's taken damage from a variety of different things, all right? And obviously, you know, it's going to burrow down to the ground now. Try to escape once more. It's the logical thing to do. Trying to get out of here. We're back to the owlbear, okay? The owlbear comes up here. It moves a little bit closer, and you can hear it crying out forlornly. You're not sure what's going on. It's you can see it standing by the carcass of its dead mate, and there appears to be a nest in there, and you can see what appears to be a baby owlbear in the nest. So you get the impression that this owlbear is trying to protect its young. Okay, what will you do? Once again, you can try to use your eye for detail to determine where you think the beast is going to pop up, or you can just sit on your ass. It's up to you.
Yeah, let's do that. I was debating whether it makes sense to be closer to the nest, but maybe that wouldn't be a good idea. So let's go to do the see if we can find out where the beast is going to pop up.
Okay, yeah. Roll me a perception check. 11. Okay, unfortunately, that is not quite high enough. You have no idea. Lester LeFoe thinks really hard and is not able to perceive shit. All he is able to perceive is that King Darian is a putz. If King Darian were here right now, he'd probably shit his pants. So unfortunately, yeah, you're not able to perceive anything. All right. So Ven's turn. And Ven says, so from what appears to be going on here, it seems as if this boulette has been responsible for the owlbears and the griffins fighting against each other. It seems that they might have misunderstood what was going on and thought that, you know, maybe each tribe was attacking each other when it was really the boulette doing everything. That is just what I seem to have gathered from this scenario. I'm going to approach closer. She runs up behind this rock with her great axe at the ready. we're back to Claudia now. Claudia huffs up next to you, and is like, "Oh, so what should I do, Lester?"
I think we should just keep doing what we're doing.
We don't know where it's going to pop up from. Do you think it's going to attack us? Do you think it's going to attack the baby?
Let's get a little closer.
All right. I can get up to 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh shit! I think I can only get up to here, Lester. I don't seem to be able to move as far as I'm normally able to. Traversal is difficult, Lester. I might break a toenail. Not that I care, but I can stay here. That's about all I can do.
That's okay.
All right. It's Boulette's turn. All right, the Boulette's turn. The Boulette pops out from the earth, and it pops out right here. Okay, on top of the owlbear. Unfortunately, the owlbear, it seems to be going for the nest and for the delicious baby. All right. The owlbear fails its save, and the owlbear is going to take damage, unfortunately. Oh dear. So the owlbear just... Let's see how much damage it takes. Alright. The owlbear takes 28 points of damage.
Oh.
And unfortunately it had 22 hit points remaining. The owlbear lets out just a mournful, mournful cry as rocks fall down upon its body. Just the impact of the rocks hitting it and crushing its limbs is too much for it to take. It keels over, and this fluffy creature, fluffy but fierce creature that you formerly only saw in Tartec gift shops in the form of a plushie, falls over, deceased. It's sad.
Oh.
All right.
Not good.
Not good. And so the owlbear loses a turn. Now finally it's just you, Lester. What shall you do? You can hear squealing coming somewhere from beyond the owlbear carcasses. Might it be the baby? Perhaps it is. You don't need to be a detective to discern that.
That's a baby. I think. Okay. Can I give orders?
You can, but you can sort of do that normally on your turn, or on everybody else's turn. What orders do you want to give?
I think we should split up. Somebody, I'll do the shooting,
Right.
but someone should. I'll shoot the boulette, but someone should make their way closer. So I think Ven actually probably is the closest at this point.
Right.
She could probably go around, see, and try to get save the Kinder.
Saving the Kinder. All right. So on Ven's next turn, she's going to be inclined to do that, unless you decide to change your tactic right then and there.
Okay.
All right.
She could go. Let's see, 30 to 6. She could do it in maybe 2 turns.
Maybe 2 turns. Yeah. All right. Let's go for it.
Okay.
Lester LeFoe rolls a 16. Unfortunately, that's not enough to hit. The thing requires the thing you need to beat 17 in order to pierce its armor class rating. Lester LeFoe is just stifled by its armor.
Do I still get two things?
No, because I forgot to say that Claudia was technically helping you.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch, indeed. All right, so it's Ven's turn now. Ven is going to follow out your orders. She's going to try to go closer. So she sprints, and let me just check her movement. I think her movement is Ven's movement is it's 30, same as you guys. So she can 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And if she moves any closer, the thing's going to get an attack of opportunity on her. All right, so she just runs up in front of the boulette, no fear. And in fact, fuck it, she's going to attack it. She's going to try attacking this thing. She's just reckless barbarian. She's going to attack. The first one, let's see, she gets, it's a +7 to that. Alright, her attack will hit. Alright. 1d12 plus 3. She does 1d12 plus 3 damage. Alright. So she does 9 points of damage total. And luckily, the bullet only had 7 HP left. Alright, so Ven, with the fury of God, just runs up to the thing, swings her battle axe backwards, and then cleaves it straight down onto the boulette's skull. And you can hear a hideous crunch as blade meets bone and brain. And the thing plunges into the earth once more, but now it's just its head plunges into the earth because the force of the blow is enough that it just pulverized it down into the ground. The boulette is dead as well, finally. Alright. Claudia just stares at the bloody mess that she's just witnessed as Ven just like leans backward and pulls her battle axe out of the beast and almost collapses into the rock behind her and wipes off a sweat drop from her forehead and says, "That was a very good kill. Thank you, Lester LeFoe, for directing me to get in close. I like nothing more than stealing the final victory and crushing my opponent's skulls into the ground. This is a tremendous victory against the boulette. Our people have not managed to vanquish a boulette in the last 10 years. I shall make much of this victory. There will be much bragging in the camp tonight. I will not let any of my peers forget it. I will bring its head as a victory trophy back to my people." And she leans down again and with her battle axe just slices off the thing's head. And pulls it free, and just rips the boulette's head free with a spinal cord dangling. And it's just disgusting. And Claudia is whimpering behind. She's like, "Oh, God, Lester, I'm going to be sick." Just blood and guts, just spinal cord. And then Ven just attaches the head and the spinal cord to her belt, and the thing's just banging against her as she walks back. And she says, "Oh no, the children of the owlbear and the griffin, we should check on them."
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys slide off the rock.
Well,
Who would you like to check on first?
yeah. Well, let's just go check on the owlbear baby first.
Okay, you check on the owlbear baby first. Alright, so you see an owlbear nest, and you make your way around the carcasses of what unfortunately appear to be the owlbear's parents. Alright, and you see in the nest a chubby, fuzzy-looking owlbear flopping around in the ground. It's letting out large screeching noises because its parents have just died in front of it. And the owlbear's screeching sounds just sound like "hoo, hoo, hoo." It's hooting like an owl, but flashing about like a bear, and it's very unhappy and perturbed right now. Just and I would like you, Lester LeFoe, I would like you to just make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And I'll have Claudia make one too, because you guys are both very close. So it's a dexterity saving throw. Okay, so Claudia manages to nimbly dodge out of the way. Unfortunately, Lester LeFoe, you get a face full of urine as the baby just just screaming and upset, and it's probably crying, and then it just pisses. A stream of piss just goes flying out at poor Lester. It inundates your entire shirt. You reek of owlbear pee. And Ven says, "Oh, it is very unhappy. Its parents have been killed. This is not good. But, maybe we should check on the griffin baby."
Yeah. Okay. Should maybe one of us should stay with the
I can stay and watch it. Since I didn't get peed on. Would you like a towel, Lester? I don't have a towel, but I do have your Nan Leslie frock. Would you like to wipe yourself off with this?
That's okay. That's
Okay.
all right.
All right, so you just bask in piss.
Yeah.
Lester LeFoe has experienced a golden shower. And then, okay, so you go up to the griffin. All right, and so the griffin is chittering away in the nest. It's a baby griffin, and it's chittering. It's just ching ching ching, and it appears distressed. Both of its parents did not die in front of it, so it's less distressed than the owlbear. But it's chittering and like bouncing back and forth in its nest. Both creatures, you're not really an expert on creatures, but they're probably, they're not very old, maybe a couple weeks old. Yeah.
Okay. Can I use I don't know. I just look at it like.
Yeah,
Perception,
if you, I mean, would you
insight,
like
one of
to
those
would you
things.
like to try to calm it down? Would you just like to try to discern what you can about it, or would you like
Why don't we
to?
give it something to eat?
All right, so you guys had some. They basically gave you meat on a stick before you left,
Yeah.
like
I
barbarian.
don't think
Like
we ate it.
I think you might have chewed on it. It's not really substantial enough to recover HP, but you got enough that you can probably give to both of the animals.
Yeah, let's just give him something.
Okay, so you toss the meat on the stick to the griffin, and the baby griffin is still chittering, chee chee, but then it does flock towards the food and it does start munching on it, and it appears to be temporarily subdued at the moment, but still distressed. Its parent died on this rocky outcropping, and it's actually a little bit too high for the baby to see. The baby can't fly yet. So the carcass of the griffin parent is not in immediate view of the baby, unlike the owlbear.
Okay.
Yeah. So that could be why it's a bit less perturbed at the moment.
Okay.
You hear Claudia's voice. Lester, the owlbear is shitting itself. It's not happy.
Oh,
It's a lot of fluids, just a lot of fluids leaking everywhere.
yeah.
It's like King Darian's night with the gigolo, I imagine. Just fluids leaking everywhere.
Well, let me ask Ven this. Like, what do you think we should do with these guys? Do you think we should take them back to the camp? Would you like to domesticate these two creatures?
Well, it is something that we have been intending to do for some time. It appears that the families of owlbears and griffins that were living here just chose the wrong place, unfortunately, because this was also the Boulette hunting ground. You are familiar with these creatures. They are the landsharks, and they do not discriminate with prey. So I'm guessing that the Boulette killed the owlbear's mate, and then the owlbear thought the griffin did it, and they were fighting each other in mortal combat, and then the Boulette came back to finish the job, and now everybody's dead. So, I do think it is best for us to bring the babies back to camp, because they will not be able to survive here. The owlbear infant seems like it is in danger of drowning in its own bodily fluids. And, well, this griffin, it is probably best that it does not see its dead mother up top. So she peers down at the griffin. Let me just roll. Okay. She peers down at the griffin and then says, it is a female. It seems to be a bit better than before because of the food you gave it. Perhaps let's try to subdue the owlbear one. Owlbears are a bit trickier than griffins. Griffins tend to be a bit calmer. So maybe give that thing the rest of the meat, and perhaps if that is not enough, I will cut out some of the boulette flesh and then feed it to it. That might help. Hopefully.
Okay.
Alright, so you guys go back. And I'll move you back as well. You stay far away from the pissing, crapping creature, and it's rolling back and forth in its nest, kind of like a roly-poly, just rolling around in distress, just going whoo, whoo, unhappy. You toss it the rest of your meat, and it whoo, whoo, and it ignores the meat and then sees it and gobbles it up, but it's still rolling back and forth quite unhappily. So Ven takes her great axe and chomps off the Boulette's tail. Okay, just tosses it to the baby. Oh, and then the baby, perhaps seeing seeing the vanquished body of the thing that killed its parents, and seeing the tail being thrown to it, seems to be somewhat calmer, and it begins munching on the tough tail, and it can't really munch through it, but it's munching on it like how a dog would munch a bone. Okay, just pacifying it, calming it down. Just a bundle of nerves. All right, and then Ven, who is better at animal handling than both of you guys, she goes forth, and then she pulls out a it's kind of like a baby sling, like the sling that you use in your regular life, Josh. Yeah. So she pulls out like a baby sling, and then delicately picks up the owlbear baby, who's munching on the boulette tail like a bone, and then gently sticks it in the baby sling. Okay? And then she pulls out, she has like, I have another sling. Who would like to carry the baby griffin?
Oh, I guess.
Claudia's like, well,
whoever has better animal handling, I guess.
Claudia is much better animal handling than you.
Yeah. She could also put all this stuff in her bag of holding, couldn't she?
Claudia says, well, I'm a little scared to put these other creatures in the bag of holding because they might eat Hubert.
Oh, that's true.
Like, you notice that Hubert has been conspicuously absent this entire time. Just has not done anything. But Claudia's like, all right, I will take care of the baby. And then so she takes the other sling. And then she goes up to the baby griffin who's chittering away. Then she slings it on, and then she comes back to you, and then she's got the baby griffin carried with her, and she's like, oh my god, Lester, I'm like a mum. I got Hubert, and now I got a baby griffin, and now we got this baby Albert. We should come up with names for all of them. And let's not forget our horses. Lester, we're like regular beast tamers.
Yeah.
And Ven says, all right, I think it is time that we head back. We've more or less solved the mystery here, and you did a decent job of detecting, my detective friend. Would you like to do anything else with the carcass? I suggest you do not loot the owlbear carcasses or the griffin carcasses, because the babies will see and get agitated. But the boulette, perhaps...
Is there anything that we can do with the boulette? I don't know, teeth, leather, skin, meat.
The teeth are made from a substance that's similar to ivory, and you feel like they could probably be removed. They could probably be sharpened and used to form either a sword or perhaps even like a new sort of ammunition for your crossbow, for Claudia's shortbow. They would make great arrowheads.
Okay.
Yeah. It probably requires like a professional job. The barbarians could do it, or maybe even when you get back to Tartec, you could have somebody do it there.
Okay.
Yeah. The teeth are serrated. Okay. It could be an effective either a bolt or an effective form of like archery equipment.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you and Claudia can both try pulling out the teeth. Just roll me animal handling checks. I'll have Claudia roll one too. Oh, well, that is a bit
Not
ass.
so hard.
All right, Claudia rolls a 16, you roll 9. All right, so Lester LeFoe just puts his hand on the teeth and just you yell "ow" because it hurts. It's like touching an X-Acto knife blade. It hurts you, and you bounce backwards. Meanwhile, Claudia's like, "Oh, there's a way to do it, Lester. Here, check it out." And so she actually she uses the non-Leslie costume, the dress, to like wrap around her hands and bandages, and then she manages to pull out all 30 of the thing's teeth. She just de-teeths the whole boulette, and she's like, "Oh, that wasn't so bad, wasn't it?" And then so she's got. Would you like to hold on to it, or shall I, Lester?
I guess I can hold on to it.
Or I could put it in the back of holding if you. Or you can hold on to it. You seem to be. If you want to maybe make these into arrowheads or whatever, All right, let's just write down that you have 30. You have 30 boulette teeth. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're serrated and very, very sharp. And so I've marked that down in your character sheet. All right. So now it's time to get going. Before you get going, I'll show you this. I'll show you this. This is what the thing looked like. Can you see?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, so the boulette, sometimes referred to as the landshark, is another bizarre creature that only exists in the wildlands. They swim through tunnels beneath ground, can sense the vibrations of prey above them, and won't hesitate to burst through the earth to devour someone with their jaws. This particular boulette seems to have been causing troubles for both the owlbears and the griffons of the wildland mountains, and it's also the thing that killed Albertus, it appears. So just imagine, like, Putsy Albertus trying to get away after teleporting himself through the fairy circle, and just this thing just swimming the ground underneath him just popped up and poof, mess everywhere. It literally is like a shark that just travels through the earth instead of the sea.
Is this a D&D thing?
Yes, this is another old D&D monster. It's been around for a long time, almost as long as the owlbear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the bane of travelers wandering around in rocky areas or in grasslands areas. Imagine a grassland and this thing just like swimming and jumping out of the earth and then plunging down back into the earth, which is what it did. And it does a shitload of damage, as you can see. Yes. Well, you know, Lester, says Claudia, as you guys head back down. I'm going to have you move you guys back down towards the... You didn't lose any You didn't lose any HP that fight. Very good. Just everybody.
Just sort of stay. Oh wait, there's 2 eggs there and still in the nest.
Oh, those are those are smashed, unfortunately. Yeah.
Smashed. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. You didn't lose any HP that fight. Very good.
You know, just stand around. You know.
You know, Lester, these creatures are vicious. Imagine, like, if they existed in Tartec. Imagine if, like, King Darian was just making a poo, and the thing, like, burrowed up beneath his toilet, and just burst out. That would be an awful mess. We'd probably read about it in the paper from good old Timothy Shits. And Ven asked you guys, who is this Timothy Shits? What does he do?
You don't have do you have reporters here?
What is a report? No. I heard about. They are people who give the news. Like tell. All right. So what is your news like in Tartec City?
No, it comes on a piece of paper.
So what do you do with this paper? You read it and then you are imbued with magical, mystical energy and understand what is going on in the world.
Yeah, something like that. You read it, and then you can do whatever you want with it afterwards.
You can even wipe your ass with it, says Claudia. All right, so you guys go back to the you guys go back to the Wildlands map. All right, let me just put you guys on here. Make you guys a little bit smaller. Alright, so you're back on the Wildlands map. Okay, you jump on your horsies. You don't have to worry about random encounters because you're on your horsies. Okay, and Ven is on a completely just show-offy elk. You just gallop across the plains. The wind in your hair, the scent of wild beasts and flying bees and insects, and just galloping, and it feels very nice. And you've got you can see the griffin behind Claudia just and the baby owlbear just bouncing in the slings, and the peaceful galloping and the wind rushing past. It manages to put both of the babies asleep.
Oh, nice.
Just like real world babies.
Yeah.
And Ven says, the babies are asleep. Interesting. I'm going to talk to my sister, and we shall figure out how to possibly domesticate them. This could lead to a whole new revelation in barbarian lifestyle if we manage to domesticate at least one of them. I think. Oh, so the owlbear. I've checked. The owlbear is a boy. The griffin is a female.
Could you get them to mate?
I do not think that is biologically possible, but perhaps we shall be responsible for making griffin bears.
Griffin bears.
But
wait,
it might.
Bears. How would that work?
I don't know. Don't ask me. My sister will figure it out. She once managed to breed a bear with a horse. And it created a very ugly thing that died 3 days after it was born. But, well, so maybe we won't try it. But anyways.
Well, actually, so maybe there's more of them like this.
Perhaps.
That are babies that have been abandoned.
Babies that are abandoned, or babies that have been destroyed by bullets. So it's possible that we can at least domesticate one of these, and then we can use it to at least become friendlier with either the owlbears or the griffins, so that we may get to know these creatures a bit better. And that is hopefully what will happen.
Yeah.
So you go galloping back towards the camp. You feel like you're getting the hang of this horse riding. All right.
Okay.
Gallop back into the camp. All right. I'll just put you guys here. Let me delete the old versions of you. All right. And let me just make you all a bit bigger. Okay, so make your horse a little bigger too. Alright, so you gallop back into camp, and there's a whole crowd of barbarians waiting for you, and you stride in through the camp, okay, just on your great steeds, alright, and Ven gets down from the elk, and you guys get down from your horses, and you stand before Kerrigan Grizzlymane right here, the leader of the barbarians. And then Ven comes, and then she presents the slings with the two baby creatures to her sister, and then she speaks in the barbarian language. All right? And she tells her sister everything that transpired, and explains that you, Lester, and Claudia helped defeat a great enemy, and she pulls out the boulette head and the spinal cord just dangling, and you see all the people in the camp gather, and there's lots of oohs and ahs and guttural barbarian shouts, and then people start rattling their weapons against shields, and everybody puts either their axe or their spear or their sword respectfully in front of them and slams it against the ground in a sound of awe and honor as Ven shows off the kill and describes the fight. And finally, all of them turn to you, and then also respectfully do the same thing to you, just smacking their weapons against the ground, and Claudia as well. And you feel as if you've gained the respect of these peoples. And so finally, Ven turns to you and says, "My sister would like to express her appreciation for what you have done, and for the great gifts that you have brought us. You have not only helped us defeat a great foe, but you have also given us the chance to learn more about the owlbears and the griffins, and possibly domesticate them and bring them closer to our peoples. Perhaps one day we will be able to ride atop an owlbear or griffin similar to how we ride atop bears." And then Kerrigan actually turns towards her sister again, and then there's an interaction between both of them, and it's an interesting one, because Ven looks from her sister, then looks back at you, then looks down at the babies, and so the babies are still asleep at the moment, sleeping sound and not disturbed, and then Ven smiles and then nods, and then turns back towards you two, and she says, "Actually, my sister has said that in order to honor your contribution to our tribe, she says that we will only take one of the babies. She would like to entrust the other to you as a gift."
Well, that's very generous of her.
She says that...
I don't really know how to take care of one, but...
Well, she says that these creatures can be trained to become great fighters and great aids in combat. They are at a young enough age that they will be able to get past the loss of their birth parents. And perhaps with guidance from a detective like yourself and your friend Claudia, they might have extreme potential that will reveal itself over time.
Oh. Well, if you think so, you don't think it'll kill us in our sleep or something like that.
I have discussed it with my sister, and she says, as long as you take good care of it, give it plenty of food and water and training and love, it is unlikely. They are at the cusp of barely 3.5 weeks old. There's a critical period within the lifespans of these animals where they become accustomed to... They can potentially become accustomed to humans. So it is unlikely that they will kill you. That is about the age where we domesticate our bears.
Do you think so? Part of the issue, though, is that we live in a city. Do you think it would be safe for something? One, safe to be around other people, and then two, would it be? Do they need like a lot of space to be around? Would it be fair for them to live in a very small space where they can't run around as much as they can here?
In your cities, you have things called stables and parks, no? There's a park. There's a park in Tartec, and there is a There's an old abandoned stable along Willow Avenue where you guys live that's just been uninhabited at this point for a couple of years.
Oh, okay. All right.
So Ven and Kerrigan once again speak in the barbarian language. Then Ven turns to you and says, based on what we know about these creatures, the owlbear does not require tremendous amounts of space. And then she points towards, they keep pigs here in these...
Okay.
These fences. She says, it is similar to these boars, these pigs you call them, that we keep. The owlbears generally require a territory that they know is theirs. Now this can be a house or it can be one of your city stables. I would not recommend keeping it with other animals. It is unless they are owlbears, of course. It needs to know that this is its own place, and once it has its own place, of a size perhaps as large as this stable here, then we believe it will be able to thrive. If you wish to take the owlbear with you, that is my advice, and if you do not, then we will plan to domesticate it using our stables. We will clear out the pigs from this enclosure and put the owlbear there and make sure it knows that is its space. Now, the griffin is slightly different. The griffin will require more wide open areas and perhaps more nature, because the griffin ultimately is a beast that has potential to fly, and so it is a beast that will like to learn how to hover, and it is instinctual that the beast will begin learning how to hover as it gets older. So that one will perhaps require at least trips to your city parks, or if I believe I have heard of great houses in your city that are filled with greenery and are places where people grow trees and vegetables. Does such a thing exist?
Oh, like a greenhouse?
That is a very logical name for such a place. Perhaps something more attuned to nature.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that the owlbear might be a little bit easier to manage in a city.
Both are manageable in a city. The owlbear perhaps just requires less nature than the griffin, because owlbears cannot fly. It is in the griffin's nature to be free. However, if you choose to take the griffin, then as it gets older, perhaps you will be able to have a flying companion to assist you. Perhaps you may be able to ride atop the beast.
Possible? Do you think that's possible?
That is what
To be able...
that is what we plan to do if you give it to us. My sister is offering you a choice now. Either the choice of flight, or the owlbears are stronger than griffins. Owlbears are hardier than griffins. A fully grown owlbear that is in its prime and not weak and can smash down doors and crush enemies with its paws. So the owlbear will be stronger, and perhaps you may be able to ride on it as well, but it cannot fly. The griffin can fly. It will require perhaps more nature, more trips outdoors, and it will be a bit faster because of the flight, but it does not have the strength of the owlbear. So it is up to you, my friends. So
Well,
Claudia goes up to me and says, "Oh my God, Lester, it's like we're going to be parents."
Claudia, what do you think?
It's like we've already got Hubert, but now he can have a playmate who could potentially assassinate him, but hopefully not.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? I mean, I don't know. There's nothing really that ties me to the city other than the business, but it doesn't necessarily have to always be there. I don't know. Like, I'm leaning towards the griffin because it has the potential maybe to fly.
Yeah. All right. So hold on. Let me just.
What do you think, Claudia?
Let me just show you this. This will give you a sense of what the decision you're going to be able to make right now. Yeah, can you see?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby owlbear or baby griffin. We've saved these creatures from the threat of the vicious Boulette, but sadly their parents are no longer around to care for them. Ven says that the Grizzlymane tribe will take one of these beasts in while we can care for the other. According to her, these babies are young enough to be domesticated and can grow to be powerful allies one day. The owlbear is tougher and hardier than the griffin, and it can be trained to protect Claudia and I in combat. However, the griffin has greater mobility, and once it reaches a certain age can fly while carrying passengers. Both beasts are brimming with endless potential. Which one should we choose? There's no wrong answer here. It's just what you want. And so you can get a sense of what they'll look like as they grow older.
Yeah.
And they have Ven tells you, they have a lifespan similar to the dogs of your world, and a growth span similar to that. They can reach maturity and achieve their potential fairly quickly, though, but then they will continue growing, and usually for about 10 to 15 of your years.
I don't know. I'm thinking that it would be handy to have something like that for combat, although, I mean, we're not soldiers and everything like that, so combat is sort of occasional for us. I'm leaning towards. What do you think, Claudia? I'm leaning towards the potential for flight. I think it might be nice to get out of the city some more.
So, regarding the flight on the Griffin, it will be able to fly and hover probably relatively soon, perhaps within a matter of months. However, it will not probably become strong enough to actually carry you until it is at least a year old.
Do you think it'd be possible for us to teach it how to fly, or does it just learn how to fly by itself?
It is instinctual. However, you might have to supervise it. It is like a baby learning to walk. It might crash into things. And normally, with a parent that can fly, the parent will fly alongside it and perhaps carry it in its mouth when it is tired. Now, I do not know what life is like in Tartec, but if we were to keep the Griffin, what we would do is we would probably take it out into the plains, and we would monitor it as it tries to hover. And as long as the beast knows that we are the ones caring for it, it is unlikely that it will just fly off and escape. So we will monitor it as it tries to hover, and then try putting small loads on its back as the months go on so that it gets used to carrying things. This will accustom it to the idea of having something on its back. And then eventually, after about a year old, it will grow large enough to carry one person at least. Sometimes the griffins can undergo a growth spurt where they can carry perhaps at most two people. For example, your friend Claudia is rather small, so perhaps she could fit in alongside you. But it will take at least a year for it to achieve the potential of true flight.
I think that's reasonable. I think it might be give us the ability to do surveillance, or even just get from one place to another.
That would be cool, Lester. We could. I mean, I like these horses, but if we could fly, that would be super cool. I don't know.
I wonder if the wizards could help us with some of this stuff.
The wizards would probably
Wizards-
they'd probably get a field day out of this. Like
Yeah.
they could maybe they could come up with a contraption or a saddle or something like that. I mean, just the fact that like with domesticating a wild creature. I mean, I've heard of people riding on griffins in some parts of the world, so it's done. It's been done before. I've never seen them in Tartec. Do you think we need a license? We got those pins from King Darian. He's our buddy. It's all good, right? I think it'll be fine.
I don't know. Probably we need a license. I'm sure we probably need a license to bring. Probably because he's a
But
it's one more excuse to pay them money. But I mean,
we
who
saved his
cares?
ass. He owes us a favor.
He does. He does.
You know,
Yeah.
if not, we'll leak the fact that he likes playing with gigolos' buttholes into Timothy Shits, who'll write a stunning expose on him in the Tartec Tribune.
That's fine. They're both rather large. Looks like when they grow to adulthood, they're rather large.
They'll be large.
The issue.
They'll be large,
The
and
issue would be-
so when adulthood, it would basically be it takes up 4 spaces automatically in adulthood. So 4 squares on the ground. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's huge.
It's pretty big. Yeah. That's fully grown. So that's like as it reaches a maturity, as the years go on. When they're a year old, they're basically about as big as you and Claudia. But as they fully mature, like the owlbears that you saw and the griffons that you saw earlier today, those were fully matured creatures. Probably
Fully matured.
probably like 10 to 12 years old, and so they are much larger. It'll probably be
They're
some
bigger.
time before
Yeah.
they reach that size.
Well, I was just thinking, like, they obviously would attract a fair amount of attention back in the city. So,
Well, perhaps what we can do, Lester, maybe we can... Well, first of all, King Darian owes us lots of favors, so maybe he can give us, grant us some exception in this case. We can maybe ask the wizards for help. Maybe we can try to, like, I don't know, convert, like, a stable or buy a greenhouse. Lester, maybe we could buy some property. You got money from your dad.
that's true.
Maybe you could buy, like, we can't. I don't know if in the manors you could afford it, but maybe you can like pay to have like something torn down near the office and like convert it into like a aviary. That's where they keep birds,
Or something outside the city, maybe.
or something outside the city. But preferably closer than Aquaria, but maybe like around the outskirts. That'd be cool.
Yeah. We could have okay. Our decision is made. We will take the griffin. Thank you.
All right. So you have decided to take the griffin, and then Ven nods and then communicates your decision to her sister, Kerrigan. All right. And so Kerrigan nods and smiles at both of you and says, "Thank you. You have made an interesting decision, and I am eager to see what will happen and if you will be able to tame this beast and ride atop its wings. We will make do with the owlbear. Flight would have been interesting, but the strength of the owlbear is good." And then Kerrigan sighs afterwards. That's like the longest that she's spoken in the normal tongue. And then she's like looks like she's not going to speak anything else because it's a strain for her. All right. And then so she goes back to a group of barbarians take the baby owlbear in the sling, and then they begin clearing out the pigs here, and then they probably gonna put the owlbear in the pig pen, and then eventually end up domesticating it. All right.
Okay.
And so Kerrigan looks to you, and then she's not gonna bother saying anything else in the Tartec common tongue, and then she whispers a few words to her sister, and then her sister says, "All right, now you have helped us, and we will help you. You wish to find your friends, yes?"
Yeah.
So we believe there is possibility that they might be in the Claw Runner barbarian camp.
Oh, that's the other one.
That
That's
is-
your enemies.
The other one, we will take you there. You will likely not survive if you go alone, but we will escort you. And Goliath Clawrunner, the leader of the Clawrunners, he cannot deny a formal visit if my sister is part of the group approaching.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
We will go. All right. So that is where we're going to stop for today.
Okay.
All right. So you have acquired a baby griffin. All right. Yeah, you need to start thinking of a name for it. Now, when we come up next time, so the griffin is going to get its own character sheet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and there's a whole like set of rules for kind of training and working with this animal, and you will be able to use it in combat. And then later on, when you get it has attacks. So basically, you've acquired like a Pokemon. It's basically like a Pokemon, and it has great potential. And it will grow larger, and it will gain attacks, and it will gain experience, just like you and Claudia.
Huh.
Yeah.
Could it fit in the bag of holding?
It could fit in the bag of holding. The bag of holding is kind of like a pocket dimension of sorts. Will it get along with Hubert? You don't know. You haven't introduced the two of them yet, so you have to wait and see. Yeah, it's sleeping like a baby now, and so Hubert is not its capabilities are far greater than Hubert. Obviously, there's the flight thing, but there's also attacks, and I'll show you those when we play next time. It has a whole set of character capabilities for it, and you might want to start thinking of ideas of how you want to, when you get back to the city, how you might want to take care of this creature. Maybe perhaps looking for some real estate, on the outskirts of town, or maybe looking for abandoned buildings that you can convert into a place to train it, and perhaps asking for lenience from King Darian, who will probably be baffled by this strange dog that you've brought into the city.
Strange. Yeah. It was just
Yes. Now, and so ultimately, if you manage to train the griffin to its full potential, you will be able to mount it and fly during combat. That increases your mobility tremendously. Perhaps it leads to the potential of throwing down bombs as you fly from above.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can. Once again, you can get a sense of what the creature is going to look like as it gets older.
Oh, it's a cool picture.
It's a cool picture. Yeah. So I'm actually for these creatures I'll show you. I'm using it's actually a third-party D&D book that I'm using. Okay? If you look in the camera at the bottom, you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's the title.
It's called The Baby Bestiary. All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so this is a really great third-party D&D book. It's not official, but it's made by an indie company. And so what it is it describes all right, there are all these monsters in the world, but what happens to the babies of the monsters, when they're left behind? And so it's got baby forms of all of the many D&D monsters, and the artwork in it is great. And it just describes their how to train them potentially, and how they might interact with humans. And so you've got beasts that are, it's potential to train them, that you can potentially train them, like the griffin. The baby griffin is officially called a hatchling, okay, a griffin hatchling. Okay. There are ones that are trainable, like the griffin hatchling, and then the owlbear, I think the baby owlbear cub, obviously. Yeah. And, but then there are others, that are harder to train. For example, there's a baby boulette.
Oh.
It's called a boulette billy. All right, and
Yeah.
it's complicated to train because the trickiest part about training is it can just burrow into the ground and cause tons of damage and panic.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll review the material for griffin hatchlings later, and then you'll get a whole new character sheet, and basically your party of 2 is now a party of 3.
Okay.
All right. So, any questions?
Oh, that was cool. That opens up a lot of possibilities.
It opens up a lot of possibilities, yeah. It'll be a while before the thing can actually fly and carry you guys, but that possibility is definitely going to be there within the span of with after a year. Yeah. I can already tell
I
you
wonder
that
where we take.
I can already tell you that the baby griffin learns things like aerial dive bombing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
I wonder where we take the baby if it gets sick or something like that, like the veterinarian.
well, perhaps the wizards can help you,
Yeah,
or
wizards, I guess.
perhaps the wizards can help you. I mean, the wizards have a network, the World Wizards Association. There's got to be someone in there that knows something about wildlife.
Yeah, that's true. Magical creatures and stuff.
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
got to be someone there that studied it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All
All right, good stuff. And actually, oh, there's one more thing. There's one more thing. Once so okay, so I'm going to say that you guys are lounging in the camp, okay, and you guys are going to head off towards the Claw Runner camp. But unfortunately, it's getting late, and I'm going to say that you guys end up spend the night at the barbarian camp, okay? You guys spend the night at the barbarian camp, and then when we play next time, we'll talk about how you spent the evening, and perhaps you'll have your first kind of training session with this new baby hatchling.
okay.
During that time. So I'm just going to make the I'm just going to make the map dark to indicate that it's evening now.
Okay.
So that I'll remember next time.
Can we learn any other skills from the barbarians?
So the reason I want to do that is because you guys are leveling up.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys are leveling up. As you need to take a long rest. So as you guys are taking your long rest and like chatting with the barbarians, we'll get into the other stuff that you learn from them during this time. But both you and Claudia level up to level 7 actually.
I was thinking maybe we could learn some combat or berserker.
You can't learn berserker stuff because that's actually a barbarian move. But
Oh, okay.
you do gain some new things. All right. So on your character sheet, you are going to be level 7 now. Let's just do this while we're here before I forget. Lester LeFoe is going to be kind of a rogue, level 7. All right. Now you so for your hit points, you get additional hit points. Okay. So you can either take 1d8 plus your Constitution modifier, which is 1, or take 5 plus 1. It's up to you.
I'll roll.
All right, roll. Yeah, roll the dice.
It's 1d8 plus what is it?
Yeah, 1d8 plus 1. Yeah, that'll be your Constitution modifier. Yeah.
Okay.
2. Ah, well, you get 2 extra HP.
Oh. Okay.
Your max is 41. Now.
Okay. All right.
All right. And you have 41 hit points. You have 7 hit dice now that you can use for rests. Okay.
Okay.
And okay. So you learn a new skill called evasion. Okay. And I'm going to say that as you stay with the barbarians, and as you ask Ven about sort of her combat techniques that she used, the impressive way that she disposed of the boulette, she tells you of her nimble, evasive skills, and you learn a completely new skill called evasion. And I'll write it in your thing here. And so basically, what this does is that you can nimbly dodge out of the way of certain effects. For example, the boulette, like bursting out of the ground, or for example, a fire bomb similar to your fire burst crossbow bolts, like shooting flames everywhere. Okay, so whenever you have to make a dexterity saving throw, like when the baby pissed at you,
Yeah.
whenever you have to make a dexterity throw, usually like if you succeed on that throw, you just take you have to take like half damage. Okay, you instead take no damage if you succeed on the throw. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you become hardier and faster, and you're tougher to hit. And this comes in handy, for example, like for a red, like dragons in the game, they have fiery breath. So if a dragon breathed fire on you, you'd have to make a dexterity saving throw, and then if you succeeded, you'd still take half damage. Okay. But now, if you succeed, you take no damage. Yeah. And now, potentially, what you can do is you can also succeed on your own. You can also dance around your own like fireburst crossbow, like the flames. Like you in the past.
So it would get burned.
Yeah. So you in the past, you have had to shoot your like when you're in the radius of the flames, you have like everyone has to make saving throws in there, and like even if they succeed, they only take half damage. So even if you're in the flames, you're still taking half damage as you try to get out. But now if you wanted to, you could just do like this suicidal maneuver where like you shoot flames all around yourself. As long as you succeed on the throw, you take no damage. Just dance around the flames.
Yeah.
So Lester can go even more kamikaze. All right then, Lester can nimbly dodge out of the way of certain area effects. When he is subjected to an effect that allows him to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, he instead takes no damage if he succeeds on the saving throw, and only half damage if he fails. So that's another interesting quirk that you can potentially bring in to combat with you.
Okay.
Alright. So if you look on your character sheet now, I'll move it to the I moved it to underneath. I moved it to so you have expertise and evasion up on top right now. Okay.
Let's see. Expertise. Wait, where is this?
And on your character sheet.
Wait, this is under skills or?
No, this is on the right. Under features and traits.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's where like all the descriptions of your attacks are,
Gotcha.
pretty much, including sneak attack, and all the stuff that you can do, pretty much. Yeah. All right. So you're level 7. Claudia also gets a version of this, and you guys are continuing to grow stronger, and now you have a potential baby that can help you as well.
Okay.
And you have 30 boulette teeth that you might be able to use for something.
Okay.
All right.
Very nice.
The adventure continues, and we will
Wow.
continue next time.